For years, it's been that white elephant in the room, and now the old mall that used to be the centerpiece of life in downtown Green Bay is at the center of the city's redevelopment efforts.
Yeah, it's about to be torn down, a process that's expected to begin any time over the next week or so. Fox 11 on special assignment this evening takes a look at why it took so many years after the mall was abandoned to get it to the point where the space could be developed once again. Here's Robert Hornacek.
The old mall has stood in the way of progress downtown for nearly a decade.
It's been sitting there as an eyesore.
Soon, it will be out of the way, knocked down to make room for the new corporate headquarters for Schreiber Foods.
You know, a lot of people are looking at us as, you know, the company that's, you know, saving downtown, but that's far from reality.
Andrew Tobish is the director of communications for Schreiber. The company is planning to build a $50 million headquarters and global technology center where the mall currently sits.
It's going to be a state-of-the-art facility that's really going to enhance our abilities to provide and create value for our customers.
Value for their customers, and the thinking goes, for their neighbors.
So we've been part of the downtown for, you know, over 100 years now.
Steve Liebert is the owner of Boss's News and Tobacco. When the mall closed 6 years ago, Liebert says he knew what needed to happen.
Who wants that type of a structure down here? Nobody's interested, so you have to get rid of it. It was a loss, and say it was a mistake, and we start over.
That was easier said than done. City leaders struggled for 6 years to figure out what to do with the property. Harry Meyer is the chairman of the city's redevelopment authority.
Nobody was stepping forward and saying, we want to develop this, we want to do this with that or do that with that. We were open to suggestions, and we send out requests for proposals all over the United States, and the response was almost zero.
Years passed, and nothing changed. All the while, the city, which was trying to keep its options open, was footing the bill for utilities at the mall. Total cost to taxpayers, more than $143,000 over 4 years. Jeff Merkis is with Downtown Green Bay Incorporated.
Why did it take so long to get something done with the mall?
Again, you can't point at any one thing, but a combination of things, national and local economic components definitely measured into it. Is the entrepreneurial community willing to invest in looking at a redevelopment plan? But other things that played into it as well. What does the area need?
Merkis says there were several ideas being tossed around for the mall, everything from a community playground to a new high school. In the end, it was Schreiber Foods that came forward with a plan for the property. The company has not released any specific plans for the project other than to say the company headquarters and global technology center will likely be housed in one building.
I can't tell you a whole lot about what it's going to look like, and that's I think what most people are wondering about, but we're pretty deep into the design phase right now, really gathering a lot of data, and we've made a lot of progress.
Mayor Jim Schmidt says the city was working with Schreiber for more than a year.
What Schreiber has done is, it's like winning multiple Super Bowls. It's really just put our downtown on the map.
As part of the deal, the city will provide $14.5 million in assistance to the project.
Why does the city need to spend $14 million or have this incentive package for a business to do this? Why does that make sense?
Well, look, when it comes to securing businesses, the right businesses, and we live in a competitive world. I mean, Schreiber, for God's sake, I mean, they have plants in India, China, they have more employees in Missouri than they do in Wisconsin. I mean, every community wanted Schreiber, and when they offered an incentive package to them, you know, Schreiber was honest with us, and Schreiber, as I've said before, they could have probably squeezed us for more, but all they wanted us to do was be competitive, and any business needs to be competitive and find out, you know, how you can finance something to secure someone, like to secure the right customers.
Schmidt's most vocal critic, Alderman Guy Zima, says the deal isn't perfect.
I think we subsidized a little more than we should.
But Zima and every other member of the city council voted for it.
Why did you support the Schreiber project?
Well, the Schreiber project was the first thing, and we know for sure there's going to be some jobs, and even though we're providing plenty of subsidy, there is going to be a tax base. There is going to definitely be some real jobs there.
Schreiber won't be bringing any new jobs to Green Bay, but the company's 550 employees currently in town will be brought under one roof.
Right now, they're spread out at 6 different locations. Jeff Merkis says Schreiber's decision to stay and build downtown is already having an impact.
At any given point in time during January, February, we might have 3 or 4 or 5 inquiries in our pipeline, looking for space, an office, a restaurant, etc. Right now, and I'm elated to say this, we have 14 or 15 inquiries, and that's, I can say that downtown has not had that in a dozen years. It's exciting. I can say now the momentum is real.
Schreiber says the building design will be made public in either April or May, and construction will start later this year. If you have a story you'd like us to look into, email us at fox11onspecialassignment@WLUK.com. And if you'd like to check out an in-depth discussion on the developments downtown, be sure to check out CW14 Focus this weekend. I'll be joined by Jeff Merkis, the director of Downtown Green Bay Incorporated. CW14 Focus airs Sunday morning at 10:30 on CW14.